In 2020, one of the most anticipated video games in history finally arrived, and almost immediately became one of the most controversial. Cyberpunk 2077 wasn't just another release. It was the culmination of years of hype, bold promises, and sky-high expectations from CD Projekt Red, the studio behind The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. What followed was not the revolution many expected, but a chaotic launch filled with technical failures, public backlash, and a studio scrambling to respond. Yet that's only half the story. Because what makes Cyberpunk 2077 truly fascinating isn't just how it fell, it's how it fought to rebuild itself. From industry backlash and internal changes to a surprising comeback fueled by updates, expansions, and even a hit anime, this is a story about ambition, failure, and redemption on a massive scale. This is the story behind Cyberpunk 2077. The story behind the production of Cyberpunk 2077 is one of the most dramatic and instructive sagas in modern game development. A blend of immense ambition, technological challenge, marketing hype, and hard-earned redemption. At its core, the project began as a natural evolution for CD Projekt Red, the studio that had risen to global fame with The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. After the success of that title, the studio sought to pivot from medieval fantasy to a dense, futuristic open world inspired by the tabletop RPG Cyberpunk 2020, created by Mike Pondsmith. The new project promised a sprawling, immersive city, Night City, filled with player choice, branching narratives, and unprecedented detail. Development officially began around 2016, though conceptual work had started years earlier. From the beginning, expectations were extraordinarily high. CD Projekt Red positioned the game as a revolutionary leap forward for open-world RPGs. The reveal trailer in 2013 and later gameplay demos showcased cutting-edge visuals and deep systems, quickly building a devoted fanbase. However, behind the scenes, development was far more turbulent. The studio faced the challenge of building new technology capable of handling a dense urban environment with complex AI systems, something very different from the rural landscapes of The Witcher 3. Reports later suggested that development direction shifted multiple times, leading to inefficiencies and rework. The internal engine struggled under the weight of the game's ambitions, especially when targeting multiple platforms, including older consoles like the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. A major turning point came when Keanu Reeves was introduced as a central character, Johnny Silverhand, during the 2019 E3 presentation. His involvement significantly boosted the game's visibility and cultural impact, but it also reportedly led to expanded scope and additional development demands. As deadlines approached, the studio entered a prolonged period of crunch, intense overtime work that drew criticism across the industry. CD Projekt Red had previously positioned itself as more worker-friendly compared to competitors, making these reports particularly controversial. When Cyberpunk 2077 finally launched in December 2020, it was met with a stark divide between expectations and reality. While the PC version was relatively stable, console versions, especially on older hardware, were plagued by severe bugs, crashes, and performance issues. Players encountered visual glitches, broken AI, and incomplete systems that undermined the game's immersion. The backlash was swift and severe. In an unprecedented move, Sony Interactive Entertainment temporarily removed the game from the PlayStation Store, and CD Projekt Red issued public apologies along with refund programs. The fallout had financial and reputational consequences. CD Projekt Red's stock value dropped significantly, and multiple lawsuits were filed by investors alleging misrepresentation. Internally, the studio faced a reckoning over its development practices, communication, and project management. Yet the story did not end there. Over the following years, CD Projekt Red committed to rehabilitating the game through a series of large patches and updates, culminating in the 2.0 update and the expansion Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty. The game underwent a substantial transformation. Systems were reworked, performance improved, and many of the original promises were more fully realized. By 2023 and beyond, Cyberpunk 2077 experienced a critical and commercial resurgence. Players and critics began to reassess the game, praising its storytelling, world building, and improved gameplay systems. The expansion, in particular, was widely regarded as a strong example of how to rebuild trust with an audience. In the end, the production of Cyberpunk 2077 stands as a cautionary tale about the risks of overpromising and the realities of modern AAA game development. It highlights the tension between creative ambition and technical feasibility, as well as the pressures of marketing, investor expectations, and fan hype. At the same time, it also demonstrates that even a troubled launch does not have to define a project's legacy, if a studio is willing to invest the time and resources to make things right. However, I should clarify that although most of the game's bugs have been fixed, some PCs still struggle to run it. If you're considering buying this game for PC and you aren't sure if your system can handle it, I advise you to get it for console instead. Even if the frame rate is a bit lower, you will save yourself a lot of trouble. That brings us to the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. It would really help the channel. So, have you played Cyberpunk 2077? What was your experience? Let me know in the comments. As for me, I originally bought the PC version, but my computer struggled to run it without lag, so I had to spend more money on a console copy. The only silver lining is that I was able to transfer my save file using my CD Projekt Red account. I hope this video was helpful, and I'll see you in the comments.